I think that's been the most difficult part of my college experience. Is just my family not really understanding or supporting enough, and then not knowing that they're not supporting enough because they don't know what college looks like, especially away from home.
So I remember when I was graduating undergrad, I remember hating when people asked me, so what are you gonna do next?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I was
what's
just
next?
talking about that.
Graduate first?
What's next?
I was just talking
Graduate
about,
first.
like, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing next? Can I get a break? Can I breathe for a second?
Don't see it for what it was. I see what it's gotta be.
Hey, welcome to the next episode of the Well-ish podcast, where we talk about the things that they should have taught you in the classroom but didn't. My name is Lindsay. I'm a therapist in the Wellness Center.
I'm Kaya. I'm a senior.
I'm Deja. I'm a senior.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bacardi B. We in the building. What's happening?
And before we jump into this episode, we want to invite you all of our listeners, to drop a question, a topic. Feel free to email it to the email that you see on the screen, or if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to drop it in the comments. But we want to hear from y'all and bring in topics that y'all want us to talk about here on the Well-ish podcast.
That's real.
So this is a really big week, y'all, because y'all are graduating this week.
Yes. Talk that.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Look at that.
What
Made
y'all
it.
want to know?
I just want to know how y'all feeling.
I'm like, what's it called? I have senioritis, meaning like I'm ready to go like immediately. Like if they were to give us our diplomas now, I'd be ready to walk out immediately. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
That's what's up.
Same. I'm burnt out, to be so honest. Like,
Feeling.
I'm just holding my breath and running. But it's surreal. Like, I feel like I was just the first year. I remember all my experiences through college, so I can't believe I'm graduating.
Right.
Yay us.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
We did it.
First
Like,
diploma down. Look at that.
Right.
If there was anything that you could tell first years that are coming into Agnes Scott, what would you tell them? What words of advice would you offer?
I would, and I say this all the time, I'm going to say it after I graduate, advocate for yourself. Because I just feel like, yes, we have a lot of resources at Agnes, and it's great. But a lot of times you're going to feel like at, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to feel at like kind of challenged and defeated with some courses, or even with like your social life and stuff. So I would just, advocate for yourself depending on what like pathway, career field you want to go into. Because not everyone is going to be in your circle to like give you that advice and give you that mentorship and help that you need.
That's what's
Mm-hmm. Speaking of like social life, I would say just take your time, be patient, have grace with yourself for sure. Like, you're going to have a lot of mess ups, a lot of bumps in the road. It's normal. You're going to feel like you can't do a lot of things or you don't have enough support. You are your support. And like I said, just advocate for yourself. If you keep pushing it, eventually somebody going to have to give in. So
That's what's up. If you mind me asking, did y'all go here all 4 years? At
Yes.
Agnes? Okay.
yeah.
Would y'all, if y'all
Unfortunately.
could redo it, would y'all stay at Agnes again, or would y'all go somewhere else? Just
Honestly, I would. I feel like, I don't know if we could say this or not, but they gave me good money. So I feel like graduating debt free is top of the list. Okay, yes,
That's
you
what's
may
up.
want that party experience and all that.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be $25,000, $50,000 in debt and all you got is college stories to tell. So
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
I would definitely, I think I would do it over again too. I would still stay at Agnes. My biggest thing is that at like being there, I've grown so much and I've done so much, like even on campus and off campus, I do a lot. I would definitely just give myself grace and know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that everything that I went through during college was worth it.
Yeah,
Definitely
Sure.
worth
That's
it.
what's up. That's what's up.
What are some things that you would tell first years to maybe stay away from or to be wary of?
The friends that you party with are not the friends that are like going to be your friends like outside of like if y'all just go to parties and stuff together. I think that's a misconception. Like a lot of people think, oh, you're always going to parties with so and so. So y'all like, no, I party with them and that's it.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I guess speaking off, I don't know. I prioritize my friendships, but I'm not one to jump into things. I let things come to me. So I didn't necessarily have like that problem with things. But like I just said before, I would just say take your time with stuff. Like, don't jump into anything. Not friendships, not relationships, none of that.
You spoke to a really big part of this journey, which is like your support system, because y'all wouldn't be graduating this week if it wasn't for your support and the people that have like poured into y'all. What does that look like for you both?
My support system has grown throughout the years, specifically like with, Bakari, Lindsay, y'all are part of my support system. Everybody at the wellness center is a part of my support system, my therapist. I'm trying to see who else. Of course, like my family and my friends and a couple of my like advisors from Agnes, they definitely are part of my support system. And they see me at my worst. They see me, in tears. And I'm just so thankful and so glad for that. Because it's all my hard work is paying off, and they get to see that once I walk across that stage.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah,
that's dope.
I think my support system, honestly, it comes from Agnes. Like I said, like Res Life, Wellness Center. I think you know more about me now than my family do. But I think, honestly, for me personally, I lacked support from family in college, so I definitely lean on the support that I have at Agnes, and just the relationships that I've built in Atlanta, Decatur, so on and so forth. Yeah.
And where are you from, Kaya?
so I'm from Augusta, Georgia. It's about 2 hours out from here.
And you, Deja?
California, Bay Area.
The area.
I think it's important to highlight that even if your family structure isn't one set up to support you, you can still achieve something like this. You can
Yeah.
still embark on a journey like this that requires so much and end successful by finding support and like creating your tribe.
Yeah, that's key. Like you said, finding your support. If you don't have it, that's okay. Build your support.
Shout out to y'all from not being from here as well and still like making the way. Oh, that probably went easy.
Yeah.
I salute y'all for
Yeah.
even pushing through that and doing that.
Appreciate.
So I remember when I was graduating undergrad, I went to Virginia Commonwealth University. Shout out VCU.
Shout out VCU.
I remember hating when people asked me, so what are you going to do next?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I was
What's
just
next?
talking
Can
about that.
What's next?
I was
What's
just
next?
talking about, like,
first.
what are you doing?
Right.
Like, please,
Can
chill
I
on me.
graduate first? That's my biggest
Yikes.
thing.
Oh my
Can
God.
I?
Instead of asking y'all that dreaded question, why does it feel so triggering when people ask us that? Like when we're embarking on graduating and that's next for us, why do we feel like, why is that such a daunting question?
For so many reasons.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, what are you doing? Why are you in my business? Nah, it's like, nah. But, like, it's like, I think there's so many misconceptions when it comes to college. People do not understand the journey of things. And so when you're reaching that transitional space between graduating and then figuring out life after college, that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of things change day to day. At least for me, it is right now. Interviewing, getting job offers and stuff. It's like everything's kind of up in the air. So it's like if you understood asking that question, you would understand that we still figuring it out.
Right.
We haven't even graduated yet.
For
So
real.
For me, it's triggering because it's like you're almost like shitting on all the hard work I put in for the last 4 years of my life. Blood, sweat, and tears. Cried, stayed up until like 5 o'clock in the morning doing assignments.
right.
It's like it gets disregarded in a
Yeah.
way.
all right, what am I doing next? Can I get a break? Can I breathe for a second?
And I think that also speaks to this idea of in life, we're always like looking for what's next. It's like, well, I'll feel happy and I'll feel successful when I like secure the new job or when I graduate or when I get into grad school. But it's about finding it in the now. And a lot of people miss that
Yeah.
because they're always thinking about what's next and what's coming.
Right.
That's real.
What are some of the things that you feel like Agnes prepared you for? Like, what are some of the things that were like helpful in your journey?
I feel like for me specifically, they definitely prepared us as far as like professionalism, like know how to navigate an interview, knowing how to network and show up to places and kind of like be vocal and what we want to do. I'm really grateful for that, as well as like public speaking.
For sure.
I'm not like a really big, like when I came into Agnes, I wasn't really big on like talking in front of people, but they kind of embedded that in their curriculum that you're going to get in front of people and talk. And you're going to present stuff. You're going to network. You're going to communicate. You're going to build all those leadership skills before you leave this college.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
I mean, I agree with that. I didn't know until I started interviewing with jobs how skilled I was. Like, we have a class in psychology, and I think it's called Applied. What is it? It's
Applied?
the career. It's the career exploration
Yeah, I know what you're
class
talking
with
about,
Dr. Hughes. Oh my goodness. There's so many tips and tricks on that. And I carried those into my interview and it's stuff like knowing your worth, knowing that the job needs you. So when you're walking into a space, you're walking in confident. And then I think I had presentations every semester, multiple presentations. So it's like you get over that fear of not being able to talk in front of people. And so, yeah, every time I've interviewed with confidence. And that's taken me a long way because my passion speaks for itself. So, yeah.
So one thing that we see a lot, especially in new graduates or younger people entering the workforce, is this idea of imposter syndrome. Are y'all familiar with that term, imposter syndrome?
Yes.
What do you?
Before.
Okay, what do you understand it to be?
Like a self-doubt internally, just not feeling like you're competent enough when you walk into a space. You walk into a space thinking that you're lucky instead of qualified.
I think one way the imposter syndrome shows up is like, okay, I got the job and I'm here, but now I feel like, was I supposed to get the job? Am I actually qualified? Do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And it causes you to really question yourself, which can have a negative impact on your mental health. What are some ways that you all feel like maybe you can work against that might show up as you're entering the workforce?
Okay, I would say for me, and college helped a lot with this, you're not going to know everything. So just always be a learner. Always know that you're going to walk into a space and it's like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, but you're going to learn. Yeah, new spaces always feel uncomfortable, but eventually you get the hang of it. So I think just being grateful for the opportunity to level up is enough.
I think for me, I've kind of developed doing affirmations and kind of doing that self-talk of positivity, such as like, I'm here in this space and I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do is my best. And it seems kind of like cliche or cheesy, but it helps me navigate those spaces, especially for the space I'm going in. Well, not the only career field, but the space I'm going into doesn't have like a lot of like Black women in it. And I feel like it's, most industries are predominantly like white male spaces. So you have to show up for yourself. You have to have that, that positivity and like self-talk.
That's what's up.
And what is that space that you're hoping to enter professionally?
Like what career path I'm trying to. So I'm trying to go into nursing, but specifically anesthesiologist, like nursing.
Gotcha.
And what about you, Deja?
A counselor, so I'm going to grad school. But in between that, I want to be a RBT, a registered behavioral technician, and that's basically working with kids who are on the spectrum of autism.
That's dope, man.
That's
That's
great.
dope. That's what's up.
And I got the job offer.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's lit. Yeah. Talk that. That's what's up, man.
Switching gears here a little bit, going back to the topic of support and where you all find support, I want to talk about family and finding balance in being a college student and still showing up within family. What's that experience been like for y'all?
Not crickets. Dang. Okay.
Well, I'm first generation. So, this is tea. Ask me one more again.
Yeah. What about family?
So we're talking about how family a lot of time is our like basis of support or like our network of support. What has it been like balancing your role and identity as a college student while still trying to navigate things, with your family? Dynamics are changing because you all are like launching and becoming, you're like creating yourselves as individuals, right? Like developmentally, you're at a different point. And so you're like about to leave and like launch from your families. What has it been like establishing yourselves as like individuals and coming to know who you are on this path of being in college and still balancing family?
I think that's been the most difficult part of my college experience. Is just my family not really understanding or supporting enough, and then not knowing that they're not supporting enough because they don't know what college looks like, especially away from home. And then some people are just like stuck in their way, so it can be hard to communicate certain things. And then you also get I don't know if this is what every first generation student or not, but like, don't let you complete college and get that degree. Now you think you better than.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So, and it doesn't have to be said verbally. It's just, it's an attitude. And that's hard to deal with when you're breaking generational curses.
Right.
Yeah.
How was it being first gen? If you don't mind me asking. Is that like
It's hard.
Is it like a milestone for you because you did it, or is it more so like
It's
in the middle?
bittersweet.
Okay.
So when I have to like stand 10 toes on my own, I'm my biggest cheerleader. I'm
Sure.
like, you did it, regardless of what anybody is talking about, how anybody feel, you did it. But when I'm around the company of those people, it's hard mentally to still stand that tall all the time. Yeah.
I can imagine. So
What about for you, Kaya?
I know for me, like, I'm not first gen, but like, I'm like the first person in my family to go to like a traditional college, if that makes sense, and like be on campus, live on campus for all 4 years. And my family, they were very supportive of me going to college. I know for me, like, I basically grew up in a military, like, based family, so it was very structured, it was very organized, and I feel like because of that, it's allowed me to be a little bit more established and a little bit more independent since I got to college. And yeah.
So along the lines of finding support and like establishing your tribe, what were those things that like led you to that? How did you find your system of support since being at Agnes?
I feel like when it came to my system of support, Agnes kind of laid the foundation of there were resources, and I kind of throughout the years, since I'm so involved on campus and I do a lot of stuff and a lot of like community work, my resources were already there. I just had to make them like network and talk to people and let them know like I need this, or I need more guidance and assistance with this, or my mental health is not okay. I want someone to talk to, and yeah.
Oh.
What about for you, Deja?
Advocating for myself. Me coming to a new state and a new college, nobody knew me. So nobody knew if I was shy or anything like that. So it's like you get a first shot at a new personality. And so I just really with Agnes, I applied to one thing, which was the RA position. And then amongst that, you have sophomores, juniors, seniors that are involved in other things on the campus, and they know the resources. So just being involved with one thing will lead you, I feel like, to your support system. Like that's how I met you, the RA position, when the Wellness Center had came in to speak about the Wellness Center. And I was like, I want her to be my mentor.
I forgot that that's how we met.
Right.
Yeah.
Deja was sitting in the back of the room.
I always do that.
Like she was sitting so far back. She was so
always do
unengaged
that.
in my presentation.
Don't say that.
And then, at the end of the presentation, like we talked and we connected and we've been locked in ever since.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
What are some things that maybe you would encourage first years to embrace or to lean into at Agnes? Are there any organizations, any specific offices on campus?
I would say the RA position. Like, oh my goodness, the way that I get to talk about that in my interviews, being an RA since my sophomore year, it just makes you a well-rounded individual. You don't know, it's on call. You don't know what's going to come up. There's meetings. Like, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, I would say the RA position.
Shout out to Red Life.
You did bring in the building, man. Yeah.
I would say for me, because I joined our Black Student Union, Wakazi. Shout out to them.
You did.
I did it for 3 years, and that's been my biggest support system, being around like-minded Black women that are like my age. So that's something I would tell like freshmen to like look towards, like your resources and community like based organizations that you can confide in. And also, I would tell freshmen to also embrace like failure. I think something I struggled with my first year the most was not like having like harder, more difficult classes and not used to failing stuff or like not getting an A automatically, because I'm an overachiever, perfectionist, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, definitely would embrace failure.
Well, if I could, I think we should just salute y'all real quick, man, on all y'all accomplishments. I know we probably about to divert, but just want to say, like, big salute to both of y'all for being involved, for coming out here from California and coming out here from Augusta, to connecting with both of us. I think it's been a pleasure just really to have y'all in our spaces, to see y'all grow from, I know I've been here for a short time. I know Lindsay's been here longer than me, but I think both of y'all some of my favorite people that I've met here. And it's really been a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to just be in y'all presence. So really salute to y'all, man, and whatever y'all do next, just know we behind y'all all the way.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
And to kind of echo that, beyond it being a pleasure, it's really an honor.
That's a fact.
Y'all go back.
These are
Please don't.
these are things that like I can't speak for Bakari, but we take very seriously, and so
Speak for me. Yeah, that's
allowing us to help y'all and allowing us in to all aspects of y'all lives, it means a lot, and we'll never forget it. We'll never forget y'all.
Yeah, oh God.
And hopefully y'all don't forget us as you go
I
and
won't.
spread your
At
wings.
all. Yeah.
I think it's nice knowing that your undergrad campus is somewhere that you can always go back to and land. And Agnes really does create that. Like, you see a lot of people coming back, a lot of alumni coming back often and staying connected to the school.
That's a fact.
Do you think y'all will?
I was hoping you did.
Honest answer. I feel it.
No.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because I don't like to stay in the same spots for too long. I think Georgia is a good foundation to start your life. But like, I want to travel. Like, I feel like I became very outgoing moving so far away from home. Yeah, and I just want to continue to do that and continue to grow. Yeah.
What about you, Kaya?
I definitely would, just because I feel like I can mentor like future students and stuff to like give them that guidance and kind of settle the nerves of like, this is what to expect. And yeah.
And it's needed. Especially for students of color.
Yes.
I think that's a big part of like the advocacy in a predominantly white environment, finding those people in those spaces that like see you and understand your unique journey.
Right, exactly.
So switching gears here a little bit, what are some things that you would tell people in an older generation to maybe chill out on when it comes to speaking about the youth?
This is a good question.
Chill out on everything. Because once upon a time, y'all was us. Every generation above be like, in our generation, we didn't do that. And it's like, okay, well, y'all did something else. You know?
Like what?
It's like they be like, y'all music is da-da-da. Okay, but the music that I was singing and my mom was playing when I listen to it now, it don't sound too far off.
Right, exactly.
And then my grandma, don't get me started about that generation. They is real freak. So, like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. It just look a little bit different, but it's the same. It's just history repeating itself.
That is.
So the music, the content of the music, maybe how it's sexual in nature.
I also think like the financial like burden, if that makes sense. Like
That too, yes.
we're in a recession right now, and like if you're around the ages 18 to like 27 maybe, it's kind of like the cost of stuff now wasn't how it was back then.
Yeah.
Like you getting an apartment,
Oh my gosh.
the likelihood of that, you're paying at least like what, $2,500
It's your
to
whole
like
check.
$3,000 per month.
They live in
Yeah.
Midtown, but they in the city for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's giving luxury high ride.
Yeah.
Luxury,
They call
quote,
everything
unquote.
luxury in Atlanta,
Yeah,
and then
oh
the
God.
pipes be bursting.
Don't give
Right.
luxury.
Your
Be
ceiling
ghetto.
leaking.
It just be ghetto.
Oh my gosh.
Roaches.
Oh,
my
I don't know.
goodness.
So I think like this idea of you should be able to afford an apartment, you should be able to take care of housing and all of
Yes.
these financial responsibilities, but with it being a recession, that's not as realistic.
And it at a certain age, like I really want to highlight, because I feel like the older generation, they feel like because we're 18 or older, there's this expectation of you should have this. Well, by the time I was 24, I had I had a house, a car, a 401k, all of that, and I'm just like, well, I'm just trying to get through college.
Yeah,
Like,
there's always comparison.
Yeah, always comparison.
What do you think?
I was actually gonna ask y'all, do y'all feel like that's them projecting on us, or they trying to protect us?
I think it's
feel
both.
I think it's
yeah,
both, too.
Like
Yeah.
it's both for sure.
For sure. I think they just want us to be okay. If anything happens to them, it's like they want to make sure that we're taken care of.
Yeah.
But then I think it's also a projection of fear and what
sure.
they didn't do and what
Yep.
they didn't know.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think one thing that the older generation should chill out about is this idea of you get a job and like you stay at the job for a long
Oh
time.
my
Absolutely
God,
not.
That is the worst, dog.
Like
Absolutely
if
not.
you're
Yo.
not growing, if you're not making more money, if you're not doing things that are aligned with what you want for yourself, like why is there this pressure to stay? I feel like that was really deeply ingrained in me when I was
Yeah.
going away to school.
Yeah.
Especially like
Yeah.
coming from DC, a lot of people like work for the government. And so with this
Yeah.
idea of like you get
Yeah.
in with the government and you get your good government job and you have your benefits and that's just your whole life.
Yeah.
And they look down on people job hopping
Yeah.
and moving around really quickly.
Right.
And I just think that that's off because you were afraid to do it, because you didn't have the security to do it. You want
Yeah.
me to like be stifled and stay in jobs that don't really serve us.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be there for 30 years, what? In
Yeah.
a toxic
Yeah,
work
no.
relationship. For sure.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Well-ish podcast, where we talk about the things that they should have taught you in the classroom but didn't. My name is Lindsay, and you can find me at Life Matters EMP.
My name is Kaya, and you can follow me at KYKYA03.
My name is Deja.
This your boy Bakari B. You already know Juice Boy B with an I. We out here. Let's do it.
Don't see it for what it was. I see what it's gotta